Hey, Dad, you should make something cool.
Since today is starting with lots of background noise and I'm doing power tool work, we'll go straight to the voiceover. To start the arm cut, I'm going to use the belt sander with 60 grit paper to hog away the bulk of the material. Now it's a rough cut, and I'll come back later with hand tools to refine the shape. The belly cut is a bit trickier as it's an inside curve. Step 1 is get the body secured so I can get around it easily. And after a few failed ideas, setting it flat and at an angle seems to be the best for this. Now, since there's no room to get the belt sander in, I'm going to switch over to the angle grinder. I don't have a sanding disc for it, so I'm using a carbon fiber cutting disc to get around the inside curves that exist and that I'm creating. Once the rough shaping is done, I want the body locked up on its side so I have a good angle for the finer shaping work. At this point, I'm going to switch over to hand tools so that I can slowly creep up on the final lines that I'm looking for. Okay, so we're back downstairs, and off camera, I took just a couple of minutes here to real quick smooth out the edges, smooth off the curves a bit here on the back side, and get this going the right way so you can kind of see what I got going here. We got a fairly smooth curve here and whatnot. And I think I want to get a layer of something on here to seal this before we start doing any color code or anything. Now, in true St. Louis fashion, while it was just barely above freezing 2 days ago when I was outside carving all of this down, we are expecting a snowstorm to be hitting here tomorrow, which means that it's actually 50 degrees today, which means it's actually good temperature, just getting into the good temperature range to throw on some primer. And part of what that's going to do is that is going to seal up where I've sanded. And the other side of that is that I will now have an even coat, even color, and it'll actually make any imperfections in the shape and the surface much more visible and easier to identify. Same time as doing that, I think I am going to take a couple of minutes here to mask off the neck real quick. Now, the back of the neck, I've decided I'm going to leave plain wood. There's just enough marks on the back of the headstock. I think I'm going to go ahead and paint it as well. So I think we're going to go ahead and mask off all up through here to keep the wood. And then to match the body, I'm going to go ahead and do the silver around the outside and then the blue front and back for that. But in the meantime, I'm going to get it all masked off and ready to get some primer on, and we'll get this ready to rock and roll. So, turns out it was a good thing I took yesterday to come out and put down a couple layers of primer because, well, this is St. Louis, and in St. Louis, the weather will do whatever the weather's going to do. The rain overnight is kind of, the temperature's dropped, so we got a layer of ice underneath everything, and we now have 4 inches of snow on the ground, and it is still coming down. So this is one of those things where if you are in my position where you don't have like a garage or an indoor space that you can use for doing spray work, you learn to watch and pay attention to what's going on in the world so you can take advantage of every opportunity. Of course, the next bit, I get to go shovel some driveways. I'll catch you all later. Bye. Masking off the neck for paint was a little difficult as I wanted the headstock painted, but the grain of the neck exposed. So a little time and a little care is needed to cut around the curves for the headstock and the neck joint. Overall though, I think it should come out fine. Thanks for following me as I teach myself new skills and learn to build new things. And I'll see you all in the next video.